What's up, everybody? VJ Hunt here with the Hunt Family Farm. And we are out here at the farm. It is a not cold but rainy day here on the farm. I know it's been a minute since we've had a chance to visit, but yes, we are still in the business of farming and we still doing things. Life is life, and at the end of this video, we'll talk a little bit about that. But I'm out here with the animals, with the sheep. I know you guys probably wondering what's going on with everything. Yeah, we've had babies, and as you can see, they're still in the same kind of enclosure. Temporary. That one right there, her, she's the alpha female of the group. Right there, the one that has a baby nurse. She is an escape artist. She does, she can jump, she does everything, but she leads this group, and they have been escaping out of this enclosure. And I know you probably are wondering, that enclosure isn't that big, right? And you have all of this farmland, all this farmland, all of this over here. You spent money to build a pasture over there, and why do you have them in that one little small space? Here's the reason why. My father, who has a amazing green thumb, where we're actually standing right here, and if we go on that side, you'll be able to see, it used to be a pig pen, right? So we used to have hogs, everything was all in this area. There's a woven wire on that side of those panels where the hogs used to be. This was all where the hogs were. Then we got into tobacco and cows and all of that. And this area here has just had animals living on it, living on all of it. Well, what my dad wants to do, he wants to turn this area strictly into a garden area. So what's the best thing to do to create a nutritious soil and all of that? Put animals on it, right? Let them eat, throw hay. The hay is gonna break down. And so then he'll build a fence around this whole area, and this will end up being our garden area. We'll have a big garden area where we can grow produce and different things out here, and it'll all be, it'll give us a jump start on the fertilization of the soil. So that's why we have them in here. We haven't moved them. The other reason why they're still over here is because we had to do some work on this side of the fence. As you can see, it's down, right? We have to do some work over here, and that female kept escaping. And so when she escapes, she gets everybody else going. So we had to do some work. I'm gonna show you some of the work that Jose and I started yesterday. We should be done by maybe next week, just depending on what my schedule's looking like. So I'm gonna go show you what we got going on. Okay, so I know that a lot of you may or may not remember, but what we did, we came through and we redid these lines. I don't know if you can see them, but what was happening is when we had the sheep over here, they would come over here and then they would go under the wire. And so when you see this right here, that lets you know they're escaping, right? So they would go under the wire right there, and then they would take off. Well, what we had to do was we had to figure something else out. So Jose and I went and put this wire on here, right? Yesterday, we started putting in barbed wire at the bottom. Now, I know a lot of you gonna probably ask the question, oh my God, barbed wire, you're gonna be sticking them, it's bad, it's mean, it's evil. No, it's not. Barbed wire typically is used to keep the animal in. The barbs stick them, but it doesn't cause like real damage. The goal of it is to deter them from trying to get out of the fencing area, because when they leave out of the fencing area, that's where things can kind of get dangerous for them. And so by us having the barbed wire put in and we make it high, it's gonna be a deterrent for them to leave. They don't need to go on that side, because over there, as you can see, it's a road. And we don't want them to get hit. Other thing that you gotta kind of be mindful of is predators coming in. Dogs and things can't walk through the fence, but coyotes, something just bit me. Coyotes and different things like that could. The way that they will try to enter a pasture is probably from underneath. They're probably gonna try to go under the fence in order to get into the pasture. Well, they're probably gonna try to go under the fence in order to get into the pasture. So if we can drop the pasture down, drop the wire down and make it tougher for them to go under, then we give ourselves a better fighting chance at them not getting into the pasture. The plan is to make this entire line hot, which when I say hot, it's gonna have electricity. And so when they hit it, it should shock. That's the goal. The goal again is not to hurt them. It's just for them to understand the boundaries and where they're supposed to be. If this does not work, the only other option is to sell that beautiful female that we have. We'll talk kind of about the animal social norms, but as you can see, we've gone all the way around. You can see we've gone all the way around with the barbed wire. Jose did most of it. Not gonna even lie. I worked for a while, but he kind of stayed and did a lot of it. So we're gonna work and get all this stuff finished, and then they'll have this wide pasture to take over and, you know, graze and live a happy, healthy life. While we were away, I sold off a large portion of our sheep flock, maybe about 10. So the flock had gotten too big. And we were starting to have babies, and it's just time to kind of move on from some. You can't keep all animals. But what ended up happening was we sold off a large portion of our sheep, and the one that I showed you earlier, and I pointed to her and I was like, her, she's the ringleader. I was really debating on whether I should sell her or not. She's a beautiful animal. She's a purebred Dorper sheep, and that's kind of typical. Her look is the typical look that you want from a Dorper sheep, whatever. A guy tried to offer a lot of money to buy her, and I didn't sell her. But she's kind of become a nuisance on the farm because she's always looking to escape. She's never satisfied. She just wants to do her own thing. Just like sheep are just like human beings, or human beings are just like sheep. I don't know who's mimicking who, but whoever your leader is typically dictates how everybody else acts. She is always looking for a way out of whatever's going on. So naturally, she's the person that's looking at the fence, the low spots, and all those things. So I'm at this place in my life, in my farming life, and I'm tired of chasing sheep. So I want you guys to help me make the decision. Should I sell her or move her to another location? Right? I think I'm gonna keep having this problem as long as she's here. So I'm thinking about moving her to another location, not doing away with her, not sending her to her eternal resting place, because she's a beautiful animal, and I definitely want to keep her on the farm, but just moving her to another location, to another farm somewhere where, you know, she can be away from so many animals and she won't have as much impact. Comment down below. If you know how people work, then you also know how sheep work. If your leaders are bad, what do you do with a bad leading animal? I want your advice on it. What would you do? Would you keep her? Would you sell her? It's hard for me to train her, obviously, because she continues to just escape and do what she wants to do. And honestly, the resources that will go into like training her or keeping her from doing stuff is just a little bit much. So what would you do? I need your advice on how we should handle this situation. What would you like to see? But we're gonna go over after this check on the cows, kind of show you what's going on, talk to you about that, and then we're gonna kind of have a heart-to-heart, a little moment, catch you guys up on the Hunt Family Farm. So here are a few of the cows. They're just chilling, living their best life out here in the rain. That's one of my bulls. He's probably about 1.5 years old. He has a lot of energy, but overall good bull. One of the big things that I want to show you guys is this right here. Well, this right here, number one. This is cotton, right? It's a byproduct used after they gin the cotton. The cows absolutely love it. It's a great food source for them, a great carb. I may have mentioned it in other videos, but the importance of it is it has been an absolute brutal winter. I know that you guys know that the beef prices in the grocery store are like skyrocket. It's high, right? And so one of the big things, and we'll kind of talk about it, a lot of it is tariffs, a lot of it, most of it, 100%, I ain't gonna say 100, probably 80% of it is all political. And so when you talk about food prices, from my opinion, there's enough food out here for food to be reasonably priced. However, when you put politics in it and different bidding and different things are happening, again, we'll talk more about all of those stuff at the end of this video. I think it's gonna be a cool topic for us to kind of dive into, give you guys a kind of a question, a Q&A moment, where you can comment and then I may be answering in the next video or so. But yeah, this winter has been brutal, and talking about the beef prices, feeding your livestock at this point now is so much higher, because if you look around, there ain't no grass really growing right now. It has been a very cold winter. Nothing is growing. We didn't plant anything, any winter grasses, not on this side. And so we are pretty much having to pay for all of the food to feed all these animals, which it's okay. It's part of the business. It's one of those costs that you just have to have. But before we get into the last part of what I want to talk about, I want you guys to take a look at this. If you notice these things right here, boom, and they're huge. All of that back there. Those are what you call wild blackberry bushes. Now, I know a lot of you all like, some people may like blackberries. Comment down below if you love blackberries. And if you look over there, in that one space right there, and down in that corner over there, we have a massive invasion. And I call it an invasion, but we have a large population of wild blackberry bushes that grow out here on the farm. Now, when I was a kid, we used to come out, we used to pick them, we used to eat them, and it was great, right? But I don't know, it seems like maybe I've gotten bigger, or well, obviously I've gotten bigger, but they don't produce as many berries as they once did, and they're definitely not as good. So they're somewhat a nuisance. I spoke about this in previous videos. I'm speaking about it now. My dad and I had a discussion. We are thinking about getting some goats, right? Maybe two, don't want to lie, maybe two small males, have them come through and eat the buffet down to the ground if possible. I know that we come through every year, we cut it, and I toy with it, I tease with goats. If you are a goat person, and when I say a goat person, a person that has owned goats, we owned goats once before, wasn't very successful. It's a cool thing to jump into, but again, it wasn't very successful for us. They all like died. Comment down below the best goats for North Carolina, and I say that for North Carolina region, we definitely need them to clean up, because we cut this stuff down, it comes back the next year bigger, right? We cut it down, comes back next year bigger. We can spray different herbicides on it. It kills it for a moment, and then it comes back bigger. So I think the best solution is the natural solution. It is a food source for animals. Sheep don't eat them, cows don't eat it, and it is taking up a large portion, like right here, taking up a large portion of our pasture. So comment down below, best kind of goats in North Carolina to handle this kind of problem. My plan is to get this pasture right, put these goats in, and just put these sheep in first, put these goats in, bring the donkeys over, and let them do their thing and eat up all of this stuff over here, so we can have a clear, open space for our animals. All right, what's up, everybody? This is VJ, and it is raining. I'm under the shed. Kind of had to stop filming because the rain just wouldn't allow me to be great. But I did want to come to you and kind of rap with you. No, we haven't been here, but I was asked a question the other day, and I thought it was pretty cool. And they asked me, how is farming going in 2026? 25, 26. It's February here, and so we still hadn't gotten through the first quarter of the year, but I can report 25 up into 26. And what I will say is, for us, again, it's been fine, but for a large number of farmers, it has been pretty tough, and for a multitude of reasons. You go to the grocery store now, the price of whatever you eat, meat, whatever vegetables, everything has, in fact, gone up, and it's gone up tremendous amount. So what may have cost $5 today, maybe $10. I know the price of beef right now is at an all-time high. So that's one of those things that I think that people automatically assume that because because the price of beef is going up, it's those selfish farmers that are jacking the price up. When in actuality, last year I think in 25 was like a record for farmers going bankrupt. And so when you look at the price of beef and how it's gone up, and the price of groceries and how they're going up, you would think that the farmers have become filthy rich and wouldn't have a record number of bankruptcies. And the reality of it is the middleman between the farmer and the grocery store, those are the people who are getting rich. And so those are the people that drive the prices at the grocery store to the consumer, not so much the farmers. Now I know last year, I don't want to get too political about farming because, depending on what side you sit, you have different points, and I think everybody's point can be valid in certain argument. But from a farmer standpoint, what I'll say is the tariffs hurt farmers more than they help, which in return caused farmers higher prices for things such as feed. It made it tougher for farmers to sell things, especially on major exports such as soybeans and different things like that we normally ship across the water. So now, if we're exporting soybeans and different things of that nature, and we import things like fertilizers, whenever there's a tariff, the prices on both ends kind of crunch on the farmers, and those are the people that end up feeling it the most. And with so many of these farmers feeling these crunches, they've been forced to go into bankruptcy. And it's a sad thing because some of these farmers have been in, they're generational farmers. I don't know what I would do or how I would feel as a person if, I lost our farm because we're not able to function because we are not generating enough revenue to cover our costs. A lot of misconceptions is that farmers make a lot, and it's not. Most farmers are just trying to break even, making it to the next year. And so with farmers with that business model, we're not greedy people, right? We just want to make enough for us to have a good living, take care of all of our bills, and make it into the next year. And so in most situations, farmers live from a year-to-year standpoint. Most farmers will borrow money at the beginning of the year, pay off all their bills, have their salary in there, and trust me when I say their salaries aren't great, right? They aren't grand, but they have their salary in there, everything they need, and then at the end of the year when they're able to sell off whatever they're growing, that's when they pay off the loan and they do the same thing the next year. Again, it's a break-even model, and that's something that farmers typically do. A lot of Fortune 500 companies aren't that way. They're all about pushing profits, and most situations with farmers, they're not. And so the climate of farming in 2025/26 has been that the people that are the least greedy are feeling the biggest crunch. And it is a sad thing for a lot of farmers. Again, for us, we all have other jobs, and this is more of a hobby for us. It is a way that we do generate some revenue, but it's not our sole source of income, and so we don't feel as much of a crunch as maybe those people that are out here doing it, like the major farms across the country. But nevertheless, we do see a price in feed. We do see the costs associated with feed. We still do have farmer friends that may not be doing as well as they once were. And so the thing that I want to encourage, all of our followers to do is, if you know a farmer, encourage the farmer and support them. That's the biggest thing. If you go to local farmers markets, a lot of time that is direct farm to table. Shopping at a farmer's market helps a farmer. Now I understand farmers markets aren't going to have everything that you need, but being a part of a farmer's market and going there, or knowing a farmer and purchasing from him or her, right? A lot of times those things help people more than you realize. There's groups of people that purchasing from farmers help them so much. Again, I mean, 2025, 2026 has been tough on the farmer. If you do the research, you see the numbers. And in most situations, it's not the farmer's fault. They didn't make any mistakes. It's just kind of how it goes in the political world that we kind of live in. I don't really have much more to say about it. Kind of just wanted to share that with you as I sat here and I thought about it and reflected. Hopefully, you know, you guys can meet farmers and know farmers. Comment down below ideas that you may see for farmers. How can farmers market themselves better, especially if they're in small towns, small areas, or they're in small markets? Now, I can say this, if you truly care about farmers, going to farmers markets are the best way, the absolute best way to support them. We actually sell at our farmers market, mainly our chicken products, or our poultry products. Our beef, we actually are selling it into the market that is kind of dictating the prices at the grocery stores. It's a simpler method for us than us actually, you know, processing our own animals and selling them one by one. But comment down below some ideas you have. VJ Hunt, till next time.